Hello, and welcome to another episode of Paddle Forward, where we navigate life's currents. My name is Anna Connie Walters, and I'm so excited to be here with you. So, I wanted to talk about the art of self investment and why investing in ourselves is not selfish. Just like self care sometimes can seem selfish, this is to me part of self care, especially if you're a momapreneur, an entrepreneur, or out there, running some type of business. It really is something that I've just recently really embraced. And I just wanted to take a moment to kind of share really into my own self investment journey, which has really started. This will be kind of the 1 year mark for me. This was really the first year that I've dove into self investment for the first time. And when I started to look back, I've realized that I've actually committed close to $5,000 towards coaches and courses that have really focused on my personal growth and professional development over the last 12 months. It started with a video confidence coach with Barkley, who's amazing. If you don't know who she is, she's got just a really down-to-earth, very approachable training. And I started with her first and then ended up getting a brain coach. You may know him. His name is Kwik. He's amazing. And it really was because I knew that I needed to get over some mental blocks, but also because I was in this mindset as a mom. We get told, you have mom brain, and we have this inability to maybe remember things. And I am terrible at names. And I'm like, I just can't believe that it has to be something to do with the fact that I just gave, that I had a baby. Like that seems no. So I invested in his courses to help me figure out what tips or anything that I could do to help kind of reverse that. If it was a real thing, it happens to be not. And really to kind of help me unlock my mind into believing that it is truly limitless. And it continued on from there. And some investments haven't been that great. I think that I got too excited and jumped the gun on some. Not to say that the investment into the training itself wasn't good. I just wasn't in that. I wasn't in the space where I needed to be or at the level I needed to be for my own business for it to actually make sense or for me to actually get an ROI on the investment itself. And so it's worth me saying that yes, all those tools really did help me. Some of them, not so much, in the sense that I haven't actually used them, or I kind of started and then didn't start. But that is kind of the way of the game. Some things that I've learned the hard way that I kind of wanted to touch base with some of you today who are ready to take that next step, and really to just encourage you to just consider any type of self-investment, whether it's an actual course. If you're a military spouse, there are so many resources for us to take advantage of, especially if you've been a stay-at-home mom taking care of the family and it's time for you to find something to do because the kids have left and you're feeling that void of not having something for yourself. Coursera has amazing courses. I actually took their Google marketing and e-commerce certification program, which is I don't know how much hundreds of dollars it costs to the public, but to us it's free. Excuse me, I'm drinking my little hot water with lemon. And, I want to address that. I get that there's this hesitation that often comes with investing into oneself. And I really feel like sometimes it's especially more prominent in moms and women who happen to be entrepreneurs. It's this story that we continue to tell ourselves that investing in ourselves is selfish, especially when family or work or other responsibilities are involved. If money's tight, if you guys are on a budget. And the truth is that what I've learned from my year of investing in myself is that the more I poured into myself, the more that I actually was able to give back in actually not just my business, but in all the areas of my life. I really started to notice that I started to gain my confidence. I started to have clarity. I started to develop better skills and resilience. And I'm being told constantly how people are noticing my shift from a year, 2 years ago, and they're like, I can see it in your own branding and the things that you're doing in your own business. You like literally are like I've seen the transformation of all the stuff you implement after you've learned it. And a lot of it is that once I took the Kwik training to really have this limitless mind, it was like a game changer. And I've been like a Pac-Man monster, just yum, 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 just out there, dude, eating it up, because I really realized that the only limitations that I have on my brain are the ones that I put on myself. And everything that I thought was not something that I could fix, that they were just things that I was going to be stuck with. The inability, like being a slow reader, the inability to remember people's names, which is sometimes awfully embarrassing because you're like, hey, how are you? And you have no idea who they are. Being able to just function and run multiple businesses and switch the hats and stuff. I wake up super excited every day. I am constantly reading, listening to podcasts, reading books, enrolling into new courses because I'm so excited about life. And that is really it. For me, it just made me more enthusiastic, more hungry, and more excited for my future. And I wanted to just kind of come on here. I'm actually about to hire my first in-person coach. So all the coaches that I've had have been online. Most of it is you pretty much buy some kind of a program that they've put out into the internet online somewhere, and you basically watch for me, it tends to be all replays. I rarely can ever like sign up and actually show up for their group like coaching calls, which really isn't a group coaching call. It's mostly just them talking, and you never really get to communicate with them. It's mostly like they just read your chat, and sometimes depending on how many people there are, sometimes it could be thousands. They don't even get to see your actual, your chat. So it became this awesome, like enthusiastic community. You were taking in this information, or I was, and then I would try to implement it, but sometimes it just doesn't make sense, or it's not for me, or I need some better guidance. And then I'm kind of just like left, or feeling left like I'm out there on my own still. So I found somebody who I knew. I met her a few years ago. I've been watching her, and I just have been building up to get to this space where I really think I'm ready for her to guide me into that next level that I know that I'm so close to. And so I just wanted to come on here and really, encourage you to say yes to that investment. And I know that I feel more aligned with my purpose, with my confidence. Like I said, my skills that I have gained that I can actually pass on to my clients and my community. Kwik is really a big promoter of when you learn something, the best way to retain it and to remember it is actually to teach it to somebody else. And so as I'm learning, as I'm investing in myself, it's not just benefiting me. It really is benefiting my entire community, depending on which community it aligns with, obviously. But it's amazing, and I'm super excited, and I hope that my community is excited, and they continue to cheer me on, because whatever I invest in myself, whether it's a new certification, right now I am actually going back and getting my pre and postnatal fitness certification. I turned 43 2 weeks ago, or a week ago, and I know that menopause is coming. I don't know when, but I know it's coming. It's inevitable. We all have to go through it if you still have your ovary, your girl parts down there. So I want to be prepared, just like I wanted to be prepared when I got pregnant. I have all kinds of knowledge because I am military trained, but it's one thing to know, and it's another thing to actually have to experience it firsthand. A lot of the stuff that we know as medical professionals sometimes goes out the window when we become patients, and it really makes it just gives you some humility, I guess. because sometimes it's really easy for us to tell patients to do this, yeah, do this, do that. And then it's like, but we've never really been in their shoes. And so when that time comes, it actually makes them so much better as medical professionals, I think. So for me, I was a huge advocate for people because I had to go through the medical system when I knew something was going on in my body, and it felt like nobody was really listening. And I was like, you know what? Damn this, I'm going to go and I'm going to find somebody who will actually listen to me. And when I did, I really started to get answers. I really got to have my care, focused on, or, kind of like made for me. And it really set me on this empowering journey for my own self care in my mental health stuff that, if you don't know, that's another episode. But it's this investment in me has had a real ripple effect on everyone that I've connected with. And for some, not that great, because I'm starting to now learn how to build boundaries. I'm starting to step into my self-worth that deep down I always knew I had, but now I'm acknowledging it and believing in it and speaking to it. And most importantly, stepping into it. And so you're starting to see, like, I'm stepping into my new power and I'm really taking on. I'm not as easy as I used to get a hold of, because I'm realizing that my time is my most valuable asset. And for some who are used to getting some services or tips or time with me, they're now going to have to invest in themselves if they really want to get that information from me, because I've made that investment. And so by them investing in me, I get to invest more into myself. And because I'm investing in myself, it's the reason why they're coming to me to begin with. And so it's this really beautiful, like, understanding of this exchange of energy. It's not monetary. It's this, to like not look at it as I'm exchanging money for time. I'm exchanging energy for energy. And so if I'm going to give you energy, you need to give me some type of energy back. And sometimes, well, it's monetary. So I would love to just encourage you to take that first step. I'd love to hear about it. If you've never done it like I had, to the thought of spending more than like $20, $30 on like something that I felt like I could probably research this on YouTube, Google the heck out of it and figure it out myself, was like my mentality. I was like reluctant to spend money that I felt like I could. But then when I really started to understand, why are you reinventing the wheel? And then you complain that you're in the same spot, you're not moving forward, or you're feeling frustrated, you're taking it out on your family because you feel stuck. There's a plane coming. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. And so it was really that turning point. But like, it's that exchange. I need to get to where they are faster, and they're giving me that key. And yes, I will pay for it because they've done the hard work. And I know firsthand, having gone through like 15, 20 years of, making all the wrong decisions and failing to find the right answer. And now I found it, and it seems so clear now, but I had to go through a bunch of stuff to get the answers that I know now. And those are the things that I'm trying to share with others. So it doesn't have to be a person, by the way. It doesn't have to be like an actual coaching program. It could literally just be a course or some just dedicated time for personal growth. It's literally worth every effort of energy, because I know if you're a mom, especially if you have multiple children at home, if you're homeschooling, if you're a stay-at-home mom, I know it's hectic, but you got at least 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes that I know you can squeeze out and not scroll through Instagram or Pinterest or whatever. Take a book into the bathroom if that's what you got to do. Listen to audio. I subscribe to Audible, and I listen to it on my drives because I'm in the car quite a bit. And 20-30 minutes, like the drive zone, like, oh, it's only a 15-minute drive, a 20-minute drive there. Yeah, but then you count of it like both ways, and that's if there's no traffic. That's still 40 minutes of your day, almost an hour, that you could be listening to a video or listening to the audio files, or maybe not looking at the screen, but just listening to the course itself. And then when you need to go back home and like actually watch it so that you can actually, even further. So the two main books that I am loving, there's a third one, but that's really for like entrepreneurs. So the first two is Limitless by Jim Kwik. He just did an expanded version. It's absolutely amazing. It is on Audible, but I recommend getting both. And Worthy by Jamie Lima Kern. And it's incredible. It is incredible. Just that book alone. If you're female, it is not necessarily it's for both men and women, but it's primarily written for women. Just kind of disclaimer there. But it is a beautiful book and so empowering. I love, love, love listening to Jamie read it to me, but I also like reading it to myself. So sometimes I will listen to it on audio while I'm driving and then just reinforce the message to really drive it home for me. And again, the essence of self-worth is that self-investment isn't selfish. It truly is essential. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and sometimes we need other people to guide us to that next step. And really, each dollar, each minute that you spend, that I've spent on my own personal growth, has really come back tenfold. I'm sorry. I have this timer set for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, I kind of take a break and then I come back like 10 minutes later. That's all the message that I really wanted to kind of put out there for you guys. I hope that it kind of gives you that motivation or maybe that curiosity to like look into something, look into a coach, look into a book or whatever. To kind of see where you go from here. And, if you're on the fence, remember that if you start with something small, then so for me, I will end with a lot of the coaches that I ended up investing in. I absorbed a lot of their free content on like their YouTube channel, their Instagram, and a majority of them, I would say all of them, had some type of a free challenge, free program, free course that I ended up taking part of to just make sure that they were somebody that I actually wanted to work with and would learn from, because not everybody's cup of tea. And one of my favorite coaches right now, who I'm absolutely loving, is Miss Leonie Dawson, who is definitely probably not everybody's cup of tea, but she surely is mine. She cusses. She loves mermaids. I think she truly believes she is one because she calls her daughter mini mermaids. Yeah, she is like unicorns and rainbows, and that's just the vibe that I learned best from. So I love it, but I also like people who are very straightforward, which actually I like about her. She is very she cannot read between the lines. She wants you to be as direct, and she will be direct with you. And I pretty much love that about her. So just find what works for you. And I promise you, you will not regret it. Remember that you are doing the best you can, my love. And that is absolutely enough. I wish you the best in whatever you decide for your next step. Please let me know what you decide. If you have a coaching program that's changed your life, I'm always out there, ear on the floor, on the ground, looking to see what else is out there. There's so many past courses, past books. The one that I was talking about for entrepreneurs is my Align and Attract by Carrie Rowett. Was recommended to me by Leonie Dawson, actually. And this book, y'all, gave me goosebumps when I started reading it. So if you are an entrepreneur, definitely recommend that one. Yeah, remember that you have the power to steer your course. Keep paddling forward. Keep your head up. Know that I am here cheering you on in spirit. I will catch you in the next episode.